Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're rediving into a hot topic. India's young homebuyers, can affordable housing meet their aspirations? One of the silent revolutions in the housing market of India is being driven by the youthful people of the nation. Gone are the times when people purchased homes at the age of 40s or 50s, and in most cases were already saving. The youthful Indians today, at least in their 20s and 30s, are transforming the game. They desire freedom, flexibility, and economic stability, and too many. Having a house has become a component of such a dream. However, as the level of enthusiasm increases, the questions start to increase. Can inexpensive housing really live up to their dreams? Can one afford a comfortable, well-connected modern house without being emu smashed? India has one of the youngest populations in the world, with almost two-thirds being below 35 years. This is a generation that is educated, techno-savvy, ambitious, and highly aspirational. They are not seeking for walls only. They are seeking lifestyle, connectedness, sustainability, and value. They are driven by the trends in world design, digital culture, and an increased consciousness regarding financial planning. Owning a home is not just about shelter, but it is about identification, stability, and success. The generation of young homebuyers, a moving generation. Earlier on, the average Indian buyer of a house was probably in his/her late 30s or early 40s and was probably married and seeking some stability. That profile is very different in the year 2025. The typical first-time homebuyer in India currently is one in his/her late 20s or early 30s, younger, more financially conscious, and risks. This change of generation is transforming the way real estate developers think, design, and provide projects. One of the major causes of this change is the changing Indian economic environment. The millennials and Gen Z workers are earning younger, undertaking various industries such as IT, e-commerce, fintech, and startups, and have greater exposure to the trend of global finances. Renting is no longer a permanent solution to them. As it is with most, purchasing a house is a sensitive aspiration and a financial plan. Property ownership provides them with the feeling of control and security in an uncertain economy. The affordability dilemma. Meet the reality of the dreams. Admittedly, affordability has been the elephant in the room. Affordable housing is discussed by all, but what does it really imply? A young Indian who has a decent salary in 2025. The incomes and property prices seem to be as far apart as ever to the many, particularly in such metros as Mumbai, Delhi, NCR, and Bengaluru. Affordability means not only the price on the label, but what one can afford without strain. Preferably, the housing expenses, EMEs or rent, must not be more than 30 to 35% of the monthly earnings of an individual. In big cities, even a small apartment would cost more than 1 crore, and ownership is not affordable to many young buyers. The issue has been aggravated by increasing construction prices, high cost of land, and scarcity of cost-effective projects. The restructuring of Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. Opportunity meets affordability. India has been made to understand over the last 2 decades that its housing dream does not just exist in the metros anymore. The actual activity has shifted to the Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, and young homebuyers are the first to get there. It can be Jaipur, Surat, Coimbatore, Kochi, or Lucknow. These cities have turned into centers of cheap but dreamy living. Why? The reason why they resonate is because they hit the right balance. They provide cheaper property rates, reduced congestion, and growing infrastructure, and are becoming more and more linked with economic centers. This is the best of both worlds in the case of the young professionals who work remotely or in a hybrid setup, by offering affordability without compromising. Technology and innovation, the new enablers of home ownership. Young Indians know how to leverage on technology to their own advantage. And there is one thing. It is either ordering food, booking travel, or running investments. Everything is done online. Therefore, it is not a surprise that technology now takes the center of their home search, reviewing, and even buying. The affordability of real estate has been made possible due to the digital transformation of real estate. Sites such as Housing.com, Magic Bricks, and NoBroker have ensured that buyers can browse through thousands of properties and choose the one that suits them best without the need to use middlemen to a large extent. Convenience is being redefined through virtual tours, drone video tours, and AI-assisted recommendations of properties. Developers and financial models. Revisiting affordability to a new generation. Developers had a preconceived notion that affordability equated to cutting corners, which were less roomy, simple finishes, as well as long-distance location. Youthful consumers have broken that myth. In the present day, designers are discovering that low cost does not necessarily imply low quality. All it takes is ingenuity, economical practice, and novel modes of business. The emergence of small houses is one of the great changes. The young workers in particular, singles or couples, are more attracted to smaller apartments, but with multifunctional areas. Developers are responding with 1 BHK and studio that make the most of the space by using smart designs, modular furniture, and shared facilities. Next is the rental-to-own type, which has been doing well after the pandemic. It enables the tenants to rent a house with the possibility of purchasing in the future, with some of their rents being transferred to the down payment. To young buyers who have limited credit or savings, this model offers flexibility and an obtainable ownership route. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.